Squash XL Pro is an elite team that work hard to train, play and run squash events on our journey to climb the world rankings. Like, subscribe, comment, pick up some of our merch on Teespring.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, underway now with the first men's semi-final. We've already had the women's semi-finals, and of course we had Abby Palmer, the top seed, going through in her match over Sasha Poitito, and the other winner there was Shelley Kitch. So she will take on Abby Palmer in the final tomorrow. That game just after 2 p.m. But in the meantime, this men's semi, you can see the second seed and the defending champion, TEMWA CHILESHE, up against Sion Wiggin, who is the third seed. And already a couple of long rallies. It'll take a little while for these two players to get going. And look at that, nice touch. And joining me now is, we'll call you a squash identity there, Karen. Karen Dysel from Squash Northland. There you go. And you've got a bit of a interesting role in Squash Northland. What do you got? What would you call your title? Give yourself a fancy one if you want.
No, I am the president of Squash Northland.
That is very fancy. So Squash Northland, you've got such a big area.
We have, yes, from Wellsford through to Kaitaia.
Wellsford to Kaitaia, and obviously with the Kiri Squash Club,
Yes.
still trying to raise funds for there.
Raise funds, so if anyone out there would like to donate,
Is it give a little page?
let us know. Yeah, give a little page or contact Squash Northland.
Okay, good stuff. Nothing wrong with promoting that. What about for clubs like, this is quite a big club for the Northland region, the biggest, I think, Whangarei?
Yes.
And it's about 160 members or something like that from what I've been told.
Yeah, I think it's close to 200 now.
Okay, well that's great.
Yeah.
And just over the last couple of days, seeing so many players and families wander around. I mean, there's so many youngsters. It really is a whole family, isn't it?
It is. We've got a lot of good youngsters coming through.
Yeah, and I mean a few babies as well. I mean,
Yes.
there's a few of them associated with Shelley Kitchen.
Yes.
But good to see a Northland player like Shelley who still loves playing for Northland.
She does. It's good she comes back to support our Northland Open.
Well, that's true, and I mean, I don't know how many times she's actually won it, but you've got Abby Palmer, 7 times for Abby,
Yes.
Sasha, I think 4, and Shelley, who knows how many.
Nice, yeah. Before my time, Shelley.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can see her on the court, 41 years old and moving very well. And just in the meantime, this particular game, 3-all, playing tight down the backhand wall. And flicks it across. Oh, that's a nice shot from Sion Wiggin. I'm not sure, Karen, if you've seen Sion play that often, but I really want to put one of those little pedometers on him to see how many steps he takes.
Yes, yeah, he is.
He's not a tall guy,
No,
but he just zips around the court.
he does.
Whereas if you see, say, Finn Trimble or maybe Glenn Templeton or a couple of other taller guys, they sort of lope in many ways.
Yeah, they've got the reach.
Yeah, they've got the reach. Well, Mason Smales just plants one big foot and sort of as a 15-year-old just sort of seems to reach every corner. But Sion, I guess it shows that squash can be any shape or size.
Yeah, that's why it's such a good sport, I think, is because anyone can play, and sometimes it's not the shape you think that are actually the good players.
Well, that's true. It's a positional play if you do that. And you've got a fan club over there waving at you as well there, Karen. Isn't that good? It's nice to have you. And as the president of Squash Northland, what does that role really entail? So does it mean that you talk to Squash New Zealand about any issues you may have? Or?
Yeah, we do. We talk with Squash New Zealand quite a lot, but we also liaise very closely with all our clubs.
Well, looks as though you're getting is he going to give you a sandwich? Is Jamie going to give you a sandwich?
With a special little
Yeah, he's even got cucumber on top. My goodness, the service here is fantastic.
Yes, I know we do. We have a close relationships with all our clubs and try.
Well,
and
how many
support
clubs
them
in total do you have?
there. I think it's 12 at the moment. Hopefully, with back to 13 if Kiri can get some courts.
And it is, every area has its ups and downs. Is it a bit tough in Northland at the moment for some clubs to keep going? And
No, we're actually really good.
Oh, well, that's
up
great.
here. I know, quite surprisingly, after COVID, a lot of people wanted to play squash. So,
Right.
yeah. So, at this stage, we're all doing okay. I mean, have this small town struggles.
Oh, played it straight back. And the angle, it's one of those shots you always want to do, isn't it? But you just played that one a little bit too tight and too low on the wall. Let's see now. It's a good fight. TEMWA Chileshe's had a tough one last night against Finn Trimble, went to 5. This morning wasn't quite the same, and winning that one in straight against Glenn Templeton, although it wasn't overly easy. You always know that you're going to get a bit of a workout against Sion Wiggin, or he's certainly going to do running and make you think you should do more. So 7-5 now. For you, Karen, is there... do you have a squash development officer in Squash Northland?
We have a squash manager,
right.
Gay Trimble, so you probably recognise the name
there's
from her voice.
Tends to happen in squash, isn't it? The names continue.
She's been with us for quite a few years and is very good in her role.
So her role as a staff member as such is to talk to all the clubs and talk to
all the clubs, talk to Squash New Zealand, and get grant money, which covers our coach Paul Hornsby, comes up and
he's from the North Shore. Well,
yes,
based in the North Shore Club, but comes up as well.
Yeah.
And does that work for him? Work for him and
well
you?
for him and us. So he's been with us for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
We can see our kids coming through are very passionate about squash.
Well, you've obviously had Riley Jack and the Trimbles as well, and you've got Freddie Jameson's back on the court as well, I think?
He's back on the court playing very well. He's in the final tomorrow of Division 1.
And one of the young guys who served you your sandwich, which I'll let you eat in a second, that was Jamie Gretorix.
Yes.
And he's 13 years old, and he was very pleased to make the final of his division.
And I heard he was very good helping you commentate.
Yeah, it's great to hear from some of the juniors.
Yes.
Oh, nice little angle there. So again, this match we're not really expecting too many winners, just to work their way through the point. And Sion Wiggin making TEMWA Chileshe play a lot of shots, and there's a good one there. So he gets his first game ball on this, the first men's semi-final. Remembering that TEMWA Chileshe ranked 140 in the world. For you, Karen, you're seeing a couple of players in particular. The Chileshe brothers ranked at 126 and 140 in the world. This one. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It is great to see them. I follow. Well, I've known them since they were juniors back in the day, and they're lovely boys and great squash to watch.
And just great to know that their rankings are
moving up the rankings.
Yeah, it's great that New Zealand now has the first game there to Chileshe. So 11-6 in the first game for TEMWA Chileshe. A bit of a battle though, with Sion Wiggin determined as ever, having some exciting shot making, running everything down, although that one was just too quick. And great to hear from the president of Squash Northland, Karen Dugsell there, and husband John running the tournament. They're just having their dinner, which is toasted sandwiches. Like I said, there is a lot of families here, and that's one of the great things about squash, the family involvement. So let us know if you're watching anywhere and which player you're supporting. Of course, the second men's semi-final is Lawambe Chileshe up against Wills Donnelly. Hopefully we have some supporters come through from the central region. Oh, nice shot. And I'm sure we'll have some support coming through from squash, from Surf City Squash Club in Gisborne, and probably some from Taupo as well.
Shooting.
Good play from TEMWA CHILESHE. First of all, he had the very assertive shot across court and then was able to control the point, just drop it close. Good play. And certainly tonight, we're not having long rallies. I don't think we can expect long rallies in the women's final tomorrow either. And we have Shelley Kitchen up against Abby Palmer. The two players met in the Browns Bay final. And that was Palmer coming up the winner in 4. Oh, nice little lift up. Got himself in the... Yeah, he was trying to get away, just couldn't go anywhere. Change of direction on the shot, on the volley. Oh. Straight into the wall and straight into the ground.
Shot.
And plenty of other matches going on here at the Whangarei Squash Club with the 5 men's divisions, 3 women's divisions. All on the fall off his toes there, Sion Wiggin. Just loves to hit the volley. Comes from a strong tennis background as well, and table tennis. In fact, give him a racket for anything, he'll be fine. Exactly. That sums that one up. So many options, but instead playing it into the tin. Let's see what these guys can do now. With TEMWA CHILESHE looking reasonably good in this second game after taking the first 11-6. Is a nice little dink. And taking the pace off, using the angle, sets himself up nicely to take out this second game. And Sion Wiggin smiling at that one. Just completely plumb in the join between the back wall and the floor, and rolled. Giving away a point there. Oh, so both players just trying to finish it off a bit too quick, trying to be a bit too spectacular. A smash post. Nice play. and takes that second game 11-6. So repeat of the first score, and 2 games to love now. And 2 games to love for TEMWA CHILESHE, 11-6, 11-6. Moving into third game now. Remembering that TEMWA CHILESHE was a beaten finalist at the Auckland Open to Evan Williams, not up on that one. A semi-finalist at the Panmure Open. Runner-up at the Waikato Open to Evan Williams, and runner-up at the Morrisville Open, and that was to his brother Luamba. So he's really looking for his first PSA Challenger title. And as we mentioned, 3 times this year he has been a beaten finalist in PSA Challenger title. So he's, I'm sure, primed to defend his title here at the Northland Open in 2021. Just mistiming that one. Bit of a rarity there for Sion Wiggin. Oh, nice. Great angle. And good shot. Holding the ball nicely. Racket out in front and able to drive it down or chop it down. Ooh. And there's just donks himself in the head with his racket, Sion Wiggin, reminding himself, don't do that. Oh, and there's a few errors coming in from both players right now. As Sion Wiggin was saying, it's been a long 8 or however many weeks. And if you throw in Cousin Shield in there as well, that was sure it's a team event, but there's a lot of people that are relying on you to play well. Of course, for TEMWA and Luamba, Lugden Park doing very well. Nice shot from Sion Wiggin. Good reactions. And also, as Sion was saying, that he's got this week off, and even Mason Smales been told by Glenn Wilson, his coach, to take the week off, just enjoy, relax, and then get yourself ready for the NZ Champs, the Oliver Sport NZ Champs in the Hutt Valley in just a couple of weeks' time, which will be a really great tournament. That was tight. Oh. Nice play. And even all the speed of Sion Wiggin couldn't get to that one. So coming up next is Wills Donnelly up against Luamba CHILESHE, and Wills, of course, someone who you just can't, well, you can't rely on being down if he's down, because he seems to love a fight back. Down love 7 in the 5th against Elijah Thomas, and came back to win it 11-8. And in the meantime, this third game, a few errors creeping into both players. And another one there, unforced error from Sion Wiggin. Running forward and then sprinting back, and shot. Ceiling wasn't high enough for that one. Oh, nice play. Using the side wall to totally change the angle. And TEMWA CHILESHE seems in a hurry to finish this one off. Men's final, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Will he be playing... Oh, misread that one. Will he be playing against his brother, or will he be playing against Wills Donnelly? That's the question at the moment. Gets the head off the join, just like Sion Wiggin had earlier. And now he's set up for the win. It's the first game ball, the first match ball. in the end, that is the match 11-4 in the third. So 11-6, 11-6, 11-4. TEMWA CHILESHE goes through to the final, which will